Throw this on record real quick. So I kind of teased it last episode. I gave that unabridged version of what happened on the weekend. But that's what happened. If I don't have marijuana in my system, then I'm going every direction. So I needed to use it to, like, complete the tasks. And that's what happened when I was packing the car to go camping was I was sober. I even said it to Morgan. I was like, hadn't had a drink or anything. I've been working hard all day. I was proud of myself, ready to get out of town. But because I was going 90-0 in every direction, I left my goddamn tent and my sleeping pad in Denver and made for an awful experience. That's all. That's the underlying root. It's like it's medicine for those that have ADD. For me at least.
Yeah, for sure. Because I can go get up early in the morning, go to work, and be like, oh, okay, thinking of everything I have to do. It might do it, but if I'm moving that fast and not, I feel like if you're somewhat like under the influence, you can kind of slow down and think about, okay, let me double check, because you're like, man, I'm a lot high. Let me make sure I got everything I need.
All right, enough of that. Let's get this party started.
The suppression of the use of marijuana and of the forces lurking behind it are the most important jobs this department is now engaged in. In 1930, the records on marijuana in the Washington office of the Narcotics Division scarcely filled a small folder like this. Today, they fill cabinets.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, Coloradians, and everyone that's smart enough to listen from the outside.
It's one of the most amazing plants we've ever discovered.
The pot party, the trippers, the grasshoppers, the hip ones, all gathered in secrecy and flying high as a kite.
I got Winnie Bucks!
Another episode of Stoned Appetit with your host, as always, it's me, Kip. To my left, I got the one dog, Chaco, and to my right, I got Jerry laying down. We're coming to you this episode from the Smoke Shack. We're up here in the Sin Den, in the Stoned Appetit headquarters down here in Cheeseman Park. It's a balmy 103 degrees, but it's not much cooler in here. We've got the fans blowing, the AC's pumping, and we got a great guest joining us today. We're talking all things internet. We got social media. We're talking Denver highlights, best places to hit, favorite travel cities, with the one, the only, the Gourmand guide, Keith Graham. Keith, how are you today?
I'm good, man. Thanks for having me. I feel like you always have, like, such prestigious guests and, like, chefs and all this stuff, and I'm just me, but...
Man, everyone's just a person. And I mean, I can't believe that all those people come on the podcast, to be honest, because I'm just a lowly stoner. So I appreciate you taking the time, just as I always appreciate most of our guests. For those guests that I don't appreciate, you know who you are. Fuck you guys. I kid. But we have a great episode today. We're going to goof off. We're going to get into the nitty-gritty. Not only, we're going to talk about all things Denver, whether it be the cuisine and culinary scenes, favorite chefs that you like to work with, or restaurants you like to attend. But we're also going to, navigate the cannabis conversations as well, see how you dabble. I know you've got some West Coast flair as well, so we'll start comparing some cities and some growing up. But before we get started, I would be remiss if I did not give a shout-out to our sponsors. The same people that keep us high every episode, the same people that keep me happy and lit, it's pretty much my medicine. It is a medicine for a lot of people, but the recreational stores of Shop Callie's and the Callie's team of Callie's Cannabis. They have 3 locations in the Denver metro area, one in North Glen at 144th. They are recently opened a location at 31st and Larimer, which is the one y'all have seen all over our social media. We've been pumping the shit out of it. They have great deals. We're giving away dollar joint cards. Slide in my DM if you have any questions about prices, products, what you may be looking for. They have a great, knowledgeable staff. They'll answer anything if you're going in there blind. Swing on down there, Larimer Street, 31... It's right next to Rise Society. It's like right there at 31st. So it's a great place. Foot traffic will be primo for the summer. So check them out. Holla at your boy. Holla, holla. All right, back to the game. Keith, we like to ask all of our guests the same question, just kind of get the ball rolling if you've ever listened to an episode. Are you a transplant or a native to Colorado?
I am a transplant. I've been in Colorado probably 8 years now.
Oh, shit. Where'd you come from?
Florida. I came from Florida. I'm originally from Texas.
All right, well, give us a little career path. Well, where'd you start your journey of, like, are you saying, like, age 4, or are you saying, like, you were talking about, like, 25?
So I was born in Florida, moved to Texas very young, like before kindergarten. Spent my adolescent, kind of my early adulthood.
Your formidable years?
Yeah.
That's a term we picked up from one of our guests recently. I can't remember who it was, but whoever it was, you can take this thing with you if you want.
Yeah, let's take that.
Get relaxed. So someone said formidable years. I was like, that's a great way to phrase it.
Yeah, so like, I did finish high school, went to a junior college. It was almost like the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. It's like I started getting into a lot of trouble, and my mom was like, "No, you gotta
get the
go.
fuck out of here." Where in Texas
somewhere.
were you?
I'm from Southeast Texas, so I'm from small town Texas.
Southeast, like Nacogdoches?
Yes.
Holy shit! Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's like
I just nailed that. For the record, I mean, I know Keith because we've gotten blackout drunk and we've exchanged messages and hung out before, but I didn't know that. Way to go, me.
Yeah.
Fuck
it's like an hour away from where I'm from.
Okay, damn it. I thought I nailed it right on the head. Never mind.
But yeah, it's close. It's close. I have family out in that area. So when I left Texas, I have a sister who was in the military. She lived in Georgia. And then I moved to Georgia. Stayed in Georgia for like 3-4 years. Moved to Florida. I went to welding school out there.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Dude, now that's a gnarly career. Like, were you thinking underwater welding at a point? Because those guys, they get paid more than your average neurosurgeon.
Yeah,
those guys are fucking with billions of dollars, not plebs on the table.
Yeah, I couldn't do underwater welding because I can't swim.
What? That is a contingency. Yeah. Okay. That's you need to have that.
Yeah. No underwater welding, but I want to work on pipeline. I want to do pipeline.
Yeah.
Like I feel like that's such a Texas thing, like oil field.
Yeah. I mean, I was thinking oil rig like type game.
Yeah, but I want to do that. But honestly, crazy enough, when I graduated high school, I wanted to be a doctor.
Okay.
Like that's what I went to school for. I wanted to be a doctor of physical therapy, and obviously, life happens. Things don't work out the way it normally does. So I ended up going to welding school in Florida. Met a girl. Ended up moving to Grand Junction.
Oh, shit.
I lived in Grand Junction for a while.
That's a kind of a switch up right there.
Yeah.
What year are we talking Grand Junction?
Grand Junction, 2013.
Okay, what was the vibe like over there on the western slope back then? There's a couple really great restaurants over there. Patty Caltham from 5280 was just visiting over there, and I saw her post.
Yeah,
it looks like they have some fine dining scene that's popping.
Yeah, I know recently that they actually had, like over the last couple of years, but I feel like when I was there, it was just like the biggest thing going was the university. Like everything else.
Meat and potatoes kind of
restaurants. It was, they do have, I can't think of the name of the spot now, but they do have a place that has bomb-ass hamburgers. I feel like they were like stuffed hamburgers.
Like a Juicy Lucy?
Yeah.
Shout out Minneapolis.
Like, they were bomb.
Okay.
But after leaving Grand Junction, I broke up with a girl I was seeing, ended up moving to Denver, and they just kind of stuck.
Hey, I mean, I can understand it. As someone who also left the South, once you come out here, I did the Boulder thing. It didn't matter where you were. Like, it's just like you're like, oh, yeah, this is it. This is the spot. And then, of course, I hate to hear about the relationship not working out, but if it led you to such a great place, was the big city something that helped or made the divide, or was it you were like, God damn, Denver's a fucking vibe?
I had only came to Denver maybe a few times. I came to, like, some Nuggets games, but, yeah, I was like, anything was better than going back to where I grew up from, I feel like that was always, I feel like home is always going to be there, so it's always easier to go back home for a lot of people, but for me it was something like to grow as a person. I wanted to somewhat bloom where I was planted, so I was like, you know what, I'm going to figure Denver out. I'm going to conquer Denver, and once I do, then I'll move on somewhere else.
Well, that's fucking righteous, and it seems like you're well on your way to do that here in town. I mean, for those that don't know, Keith runs a very popular social media page called the Gourmand Guide on Instagram, and his website with the same name. I'll let him do the whole rundown of that. But he's very much grabbing the city by the balls. He's got his thumb on the pulse in regards to what's going on culinarily. I think that's a term. I made it up. It sounds a little bit like cunnilingus, but it also sounds a little bit like food. But you do. You know a lot of people in the industry. Everyone speaks very highly of you, and they like working with you. So I came to learn a little bit more about how you do this so well as we wanted some insights, because we look to you as well as a couple others for the hip new spots in town when we're going to eat. So how did you kind of find this niche in the food and, I guess, social media influencing presence? Because you didn't go to school for that.
No, I did not.
I don't think. Imagine that. Kids are going to be going to school major in video gaming and TikToking.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess it's pretty much just go to the gym and get just plastic surgery until you're pretty. But
that's exactly what's happening.
That's what made this podcast so popular, is we didn't put our faces on it.
Yeah, man. Like the whole Instagram thing, like it took a while for it to actually
catch.
Just take off. Like,
have you always had a love for food?
Yeah, I have. Food was, I think and I shout out to my buddy Ace. His family, he's one of my best friends, and his family was always so like gracious to me, to take me along on their, adventures and outings like that. So like the first, and this probably had to be younger years, maybe middle school, elementary school, like the first taste of like a nice restaurant was Papa Do's.
Oh yeah, the Cajun-based restaurant.
Yeah, Papa Do's was like my first like dining experience. Because then, I mean, now Papa Do's is still nice. Don't get me wrong, but it's like there's other places you can go.
Yeah, I mean,
Papa Do's.
I fucks with Papa Do's though, and especially does the one in the DTC still open?
Yeah,
it is. I don't frequent the area, but where I hit it almost every time I'm in Houston's airport, every single time, and it's it's just. It's casual Cajun dankness, and it's, man, there's so
I haven't had a bad meal at Papa Do's.
It's a great, and you always I always get it on the plane, and it's great on the nap. Oh, fuck, now we need Cajun food. We should have had this, you should have told this beforehand. We should have gone Papa Do's.
I know.
We'll do a round trip.
Yeah.
We'll go round trip.
Papa Do's is always going to be my shit, because I feel like Papa Do's was like the first time that, like I had that experience. Like his family, like I said, his family was super cool, and like we were young, so his aunt came in with like the new Blackberries. This is like when Blackberries
the one with the scroll
out.
and the thumb.
Yeah,
man,
like,
I was
when they first came out, when they were actually like
those.
Blue, And like I just felt like super cool and important, because we were all at the table, and she got the Blackberry out. We're ordering and I'm
get whatever app you want.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I only got like chicken strips, but like at the same time, just like I feel for me, like one of the most important things I'll look at when going somewhere, it might not always be the food, but it's like, how do you feel when you walk inside? And that's how I felt when I walked inside. So that was always something that stuck with me.
I fucking love it, and you couldn't be more right. It's whether it's an inviting experience or how the staff is treating you, like it's an experience all in itself that it makes you fall in love with not only going out to eat, but then like you were saying, you could have just eaten chicken fingers, but it still sticks in your memory to this day of how great it was. That's a great explanation of when, and the fact that you can remember where, when, that's awesome, man.
It's weird how the mind works when you can remember like certain instances in your life. Like I might not remember yesterday, what happened yesterday, but I can tell you something that happened like when I was in the 4th grade.
Man, so I don't know exactly where cannabis would play a part in this, but I can't remember much of like my teachers in middle school and elementary. I can't remember those small, finer things, but I remember the most random scoldings and stories.
Right.
Like, it's the most peculiar thing. Like my dad he had to get at a family meeting, and he had something to yell at all three of the boys. And like my brother was riding on the banister, and I had been peeing out front in the yard. And my dad was like, "Stop peeing in the front yard, please." And then my little brother had told on us, both my brother and